Hello, this is Evan here from the Trade Risk on Wednesday, October 20th, 2021. We're intraday right now, and this is our weekly swing trade ideas video where we bring you stocks based on a variety of technical trade criteria, all of which we're going to break down for you in just a moment. And as always, these videos are sponsored by our partners over at Investors Business Daily. All of the long ideas that you see in these videos are curated based on IBD's stock lists. You can get access to those stock lists with a link in the description of this video. Now, in today's video, we're going to actually put on our bear suit. We're going to look at some technical setups that might suggest that there's some exhaustion or there could be a pullback in some of these names. Remember, these are tactical setups that we are looking for. So in this case, we're going to be looking at very short-term sort of bearish reversal setups. We've got a couple of Bollinger Band squeeze setups too we're going to look at as well. But you know, if we take a look here at the broad market, you can see we've enjoyed now a very nice 6-day rally, about 5% in the S&P 500. We're basically tapping on the prior all-time highs. So we've got a little bit of extension, maybe a little bit of froth, a little bit of chase going on right here. And we're going to just show some stocks that are setting up for maybe a downside move. Remember, this does not suggest that I am a bear on this market or that I think, you know, broadly speaking, we're going to just fall right back down. These are tactical setups. So time frame matters, multi-day swing trades. That's what we're looking at today. So if that's not your time frame, then these do not apply. So let's take a look at a couple of them. The first is AXON. So this is hitting our bearish engulfing TC2000 scan. All of these are results of scans that we've built for TC2000, and you can check them out on our website. You can download them if you're a TC2000 user. So AXON, you can see this one here. Again, this illustrates nicely. This has been consolidating. It's still in some chop. It is not back to those highs. So again, it's underperformed on a relative basis to the major markets. And you can see it's had this nice move off of the lows, up about 15% in 6 or 7 days. And then take a look at today's action. We tried to push up, we failed at those highs, and we are engulfing entirely yesterday's price action and kind of falling back down into this prior resistance area. So AXON, good one there on our bearish engulfing TC2000 scan. Let's look at our breakout failure scan. So this is a scan that basically is looking for stocks that are attempting to break out, trying to clear above a prior pivot, maybe 10-day highs, 20-day highs, something semi-significant from a technical perspective, but then it fails. It doesn't actually get that move to occur, and it starts to reverse course. So Zoom is hitting this particular scan. This is our breakout failure scan. You can see Zoom has been in a tough slog here for a long while now, so it's in a intermediate term downtrend. Some might say long-term downtrend at this point. But the point is once again, we've got this multi-day rally, 10% off of the lows within a downtrend, and now we are reversing and actually should be hitting our bearish engulfing scan as well. So probably hitting multiple of our bear setups. Let's take a look at another one here. This is TRU. So this is TransUnion. Once again, we've got this very similar setup here. We're in this short-term downtrend. We're well off of the highs. We had a nice 5-day pop. We tried to break out today. We're reversing course and we're closing lower. So this one here, TRU, setting up nicely for maybe, you know, a couple more days of selling off. DACU. So DocuSign, this one's got a little bit of bounce off of the lows here since I scanned it earlier, but DOCU, you can see again off of the highs, and it is in this little bounce off of the lows, up about 13% from the October lows. It tried to push up today into this resistance. It started to fail, and buyers are starting to kind of come back a little bit right now. So we'll have to see how this closes, but if it closed weak and it closed below even yesterday's lows or yesterday's body, then, you know, maybe we get that multi-day swing back down into the 260s or so. So those are all some very tactical, you know, bear setups. discretion, and experience is necessary on these stocks. Please do your homework. And remember, it's earnings season, so some of these stocks might be reporting soon, so do double check all of those dates. Now, let's take a look at a more neutral sort of scan. Let's look at our Bollinger Band squeeze scan. And what this scan is looking for are just tight compression stocks that could really just accelerate in either direction. So TKAT is the first one. This one's pretty wild. I don't know the story behind it. It's clearly, come alive here in the course of this year, and it traded all the way up to $50. It's back down to $7. I mean, this is hyper speculative. Hyper speculative. I usually don't like to show things that are even this small, because you're talking about $100 million market cap company. And just generally speaking, I don't feel like it is that responsible unless you are very experienced as a trader and can understand position size. A stock that was trading at 50 now down at 7-8 months later. It's just, a lot of risk. But I'm going to show it anyway because it is a tight setup here on our Bollinger Band squeeze scan. So, disclaimer, caveat there, please manage risk accordingly. Very microcap stock, but there you go. You can see on this particular technical setup, what it's caring about, our scan that is tight Bollinger Bands. So you can see these Bollinger Bands starting to pinch together, much tighter than they've been since, basically as far as you can see on this chart. It's the tightest spot we've seen Bollinger Bands, and there you go. So TKAT, that's our first one. Let's go to a bigger company here, SMG. So SMG here, this is Scott's Miracle Gro in the cannabis space, and you can see this has been in a tough spot here also along with this whole sector for the past year. And once again, if we zoom in a little bit closer, take a look at these Bollinger Bands starting to pinch together. It's, again, pretty much the tightest you can see on this chart in terms of what Bollinger Bands are telling us, and that usually precedes a directional move. So it could take some time. This could go sideways for a lot longer, right? Another few days, even a couple of weeks, but something to pay attention to. Last but not least, MTZ. MTZ here is, again, a stock that has been in a tough spot here for the past 6 or so months. It's well off of highs, but you can see the Bollinger Bands starting to come together again. They're starting to tighten up. They're not hyper tight. They're not super tight. They might, still be able to compress a little bit here. But again, if we zoom out, we can see that it is definitely the tightest that they have been on this chart. So these are all more sort of neutral, directional names that you could maybe just add to a watch list and pay attention to when and if they start to break out. So that's it. That's what I have for this week's Trade Ideas videos. Very tactical and a little more on the bearish side, but remember, markets do move in both directions, and time frame absolutely matters. So hopefully these are helpful for you. If any of these got your attention, leave a comment below. Love to hear your thoughts on this market, just generally speaking. Good improvement on the rally that we've seen over the past week or two. And of course, we'll talk more about that on Friday's video. So that's it for me. Thanks as always for tuning in. If you like these videos, do subscribe to our YouTube channel or follow us at thetraderisk.com. Have a great rest of your day. We'll see you back here later this week.